Okay, we're gonna call this order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, are there any additions or corrections to the consent calendar?
Motion to approve?
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
And call roll.
Commissioners Biggers?
Aye.
Garvers?
Aye.
York? Larson? Aye. Mayor Lundstrom?
Aye. First, are there any visitors to be heard tonight? And, state your name, address, 5 minutes.
I'll try to make it under 2.
You better.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Ryan Solberg, and I'm an Economic Development Manager with the Sioux Metro Growth Alliance. Under our new President and CEO, Tyler Tortson, who I know some of you have met, we've been trying to get out probably biannually to all of our city councils and commissions, just to get a little bit of face time and give you guys some updates and hear what's going on in your communities. So just a couple of updates that we have that are really specific to Canton. First being that our South Sioux Metro bus tour will be coming up in August 20th, I believe. So every year we do a bus tour of Minnehaha County, and then we also do a bus tour of Lincoln County. I believe Mayor Lundstrom has been on the tour before, as has Jeffrey Tanner. So this year we're calling it the South Sioux Metro Tour, since we'll be touring Lincoln County as well as Turner County, which came on board with our organization about a year ago. So there'll be some details coming out about the tour, as well as I believe a sign-up link for, I believe all members of the commission will be receiving a sign-up link here sometime this week. Our quarterly magazine, Growing Places, is coming out, I believe, in the next week or so. Our featured community will be Canton for this quarter, so we're really excited to spotlight the great developments that you have going on here. And I think those are kind of our 2 main updates for you. If you have any questions, we'll stick around for a while and be glad to hear from you.
Thanks, Brian.
Hello, my name is Joshua Chase. I'm also with Sioux Metro Growth Alliance. Just starting the last 2 months here. So Ryan is actually going to be leaving in August, and I'll be taking over his position. And so just getting out to some of the city councils in our region here and meeting everybody. So I look forward to working with you all and meeting you and seeing you at the bus tour. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, then we're gonna move on. We have no old business, so the new business is a part-time police officer hire. It's been recommended to hire Eddie Doohan, how do you say his last name? Doohan? Eddie Doohan as a part-time police officer at $27.53 per hour. And is this just to have him on the roster, so in case you need him? Sickness and in-house.
Yeah, this would be a part-time position just to cover vacations, special events, things of that nature. Cut down on overtime. The other officer.
Okay.
I will make it contingent on some paperwork that he needs to train for his law enforcement certification and things of that nature that hasn't been done yet. So just make it contingent on his paperwork being submitted.
Okay. So,
I make a motion to approve based on getting the paperwork.
we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Call roll.
Commissioners Garvers?
Aye.
York?
Aye.
Larson? Aye. Biggers?
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom?
Aye. Next, we have fire department roster update. Jody Grubbs is a new member of the volunteer fire department and needs to be added to the roster for workers' compensation policy. And a motion and a second is required to add Jody.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, go roll.
Commissioners York?
Aye.
Larson? Aye. Biggers?
Aye.
Garvers?
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom?
Aye. Next on the agenda is change order number 1. It's phase 2 utility and surfacing improvements at Industrial Park. Myron with GSA submitted a change order for phase 2 utility and surfacing improvements. The increase in the original contract price is $8,070.04 for a total contract price of $682,492.71 to incorporate an 8-inch fire suppression line rather than a 6-inch line that was bid out prior to knowing what size system the new building would be using. And is there any questions or on this? And I would answer. Or someone could make a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any questions? If not, we'll call roll.
Commissioners Larson. Aye. Biggers.
Aye.
Garvers.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next is the geotech testing proposal. GSA has submitted a testing proposal for geotech to provide construction materials, testing services for the phase 2 for the utilities and surfacing the industrial park project. Geotech will perform tests for earthwork, concrete, utility, grading, density, proctor, and compression tests. Their fees will be charged on a unit cost basis not to exceed $10,000. So,
We had one of these, was that for phase 1?
pardon?
I believe so.
Where did that come in, you know?
I don't. Phase 1 was a lot bigger project though.
They gotta come down like 6 times to do all this, or?
I'd have to go back and read what was in the
It says
contract.
8 to 10.
Yeah.
This was not a line item in the bid or what?
No, it's always separate. And part of the reasoning for the separation is that they don't report to the contractor, all the test results come to us.
So, any more questions? Want to make a motion?
So moved.
Tyler made a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Call roll.
Commissioners Biggers,
Aye.
Garbers,
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Larson.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Okay, next, we have a discussion on driveway approaches at the church and the Lund properties. You requested that this be on the agenda?
Met Devin from JSA out there, and Adam Lund had, oh, he is here.
Yeah.
I'll just let Adam, what we talked about.
Adam Lund at 123 South Blair. What we're trying to do, since we're doing the street and everything anyways, my house is obviously the oldest one there, and it's low, so I figured, while we're doing things, if we can make things drain a little better, because we get drainage in the south side of the house and north side of the house, and same thing with the church, same thing from there. So we've been working with the engineers and got able to make a few compromises to get the curb dropped a little bit and add in some driveway or some little approaches and little swales to try to get some of the surface water to get off the off between the houses and between on the north side of my house.
So the water just flows, you live on the corner, right?
No, I live I
North of
live,
the church.
just north of the
Oh,
parsonage.
north of the church, okay.
And so everything from basically between us and everything north, from Highway 18 all drains to my backyard.
Because I can see where, and it's got that dip in the road too there, doesn't it?
Well, that's a little bit farther south, and that was another thing we were working on. But but yeah, everything, all the surface water from all the houses from Highway 18, anything that flows to the south, all of that comes to basically my backyard, and it's flooded into my basement numerous times. So we're trying to get, since we're doing the street, perfect time to try to alleviate that, so we don't have to do it for another 100 years.
So we kind of what we came up with, and I don't know if that's what you're going with, but we're calling driveway approach, it's just to take, so there's no curb there, so we can drop that 3-4 inches, so we can get more water out to the street. So we're calling driveway approach, it's not like we're adding a bunch of driveways to get in, it's
Just
putting
dropping the curb a
putting
little
a curb in there to get the water out.
So that gives us, because right now I've got zero flow from, it's basically level or actually runs back towards the house. So by being able to, they changed the plans and got as much as we could, to maintain their minimum grade. And then, by adding the swale in there, we can drop another 3 inches and get things to flow. I mean, it's not a lot, but I appreciate it.
Is there storms sewers, Joe? Would they be adding that?
They say they can.
They said they can't?
Yeah, they said they don't have the flow farther south, farther down to be able to handle it.
And he had went to them, like, well, when you first came out, a year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, when it first got announced, and I brought it up to him. I said, well, if we're gonna do this, let's figure this in. And so the first step, we dropped it 2/10 and dropped the curb down 2/10 to maintain minimum flow. And then we looked at adding storm sewer. And that's when they said, they didn't have it where it runs out into the railroad right away. They don't have the capacity down there, and they didn't figure that they could get the capacity from the railroad. So, I mean, even though that's where it all ends up eventually, but so I appreciate it.
So there'll be a driveway,
Between my house and the parsonage.
and then there'll be another driveway approach just north of the church, because the church has got the same problem.
So then it'll alleviate the water on both sides of the parsonage and on the south side of mine.
So there's no added cost to the project for this, they can just,
There is none?
so I guess they're really an update instead of, I don't know, that you need to make a motion on anything, but.
There's no reason to not.
Just so everybody's aware, I guess. So if it looks, something looks a little different, I guess.
That's something you've already talked to Myron about, or
Devin.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Anything to get your water away from you guys,
Yeah, preferably.
since we keep having this problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. So there's no need to take any action on that?
No.
So the next thing is the Kent Airport. It's a partial payment number 1 for the taxi lane extension. Aaron Storm with KLJ has submitted for payment in the amount of $32,667.80 to Blacktop Paving for partial payment of the hangar taxi lane extension project. A motion is needed to make this partial payment. And this is the part that where the owners of the hangars are paying for this.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Not, you want to call roll?
Commissioners Garbers,
Aye.
York, Larson, Biggers,
Aye.
Mayor Longstreet.
Aye. Next, we have a street closure request for water fights for the fire department. They have requested a street closure for July 27th from approximately 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on either East 4th Street from North Lincoln to North Dakota, or North Dakota from East 5th to East 4th Street, depending on the direction of the wind that day for water fights. And a motion is required to approve this request.
We have it on North Dakota, does that gotta go to the county?
No, that's our city street.
That's right, or the fire hall there is typically where they do it. Just a matter whether it's on the east side or the north side, depending upon the wind.
I think they generally have them on Fourth Street.
They try to,
Yeah,
unless
they
the wind's
try
in the
to.
wrong direction.
So,
Motion to approve.
motion by Tyler, is there a second?
Second.
Call roll.
Commissioners York. Aye. Larson. Aye. Biggers.
Aye.
Garvers.
Aye.
Mayor Lundstrom.
Aye. Next on the agenda is the first reading for the ordinance amending chapter 90 animals. This amendment is incorporated to the regulating of ducks as well as correcting some wording. This covers the maximum number allowed and the care and structures needed for keeping of ducks.
Also, part of it is we did a quick update after we did this. We put no drakes in the ordinance, which is a minimum.
So is this the first reading again?
Yep, still, it's incorporated in this one.
Okay, okay, you already did it.
So,
So,
sorry. We are not allowing drakes?
Currently, we are not. Unless the board wishes to. When we talked about it, I couldn't remember what we said, so we just ran it with no. If you guys prefer to not to, we'll just do it. We'll just have,
I think I made a motion to approve it to have male ducks, because I don't think that they're necessarily they're not any louder than the female.
then we will then just do first reading as amended with drakes. We'll get that changed.
so we want to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay. That's all we need. Okay, that concludes everything on the agenda. And we don't have Commissioner dialogue. I don't have anything except for to say thanks to all the volunteers. Yesterday we were out hauling branches. Thank you, Chris, for opening and hanging out all day at the Rubble site. And that's all I have. Paul?
I just had a few things. There were, I guess, 3 things that happened last week that kind of led me to think that we should have more communication with the public. The first was the excavator mishap, and thankfully no one was hurt, but it should have been communicated to the public because it was posted on Facebook, and people can see that, and if it's not coming from us, it seems wrong. The other was the water main break on West Street. My mom lives on West Street, so I know that the water was out on Wednesday night, and there was no update until Thursday morning, probably about 12 hours later, if not even more. I'm just wondering, do we have a policy that can put these things out after hours?
Part of the reason that we had to shut the water off was that it was fed by an 8 and 10-inch line. We lost 180,000 gallons that night.
She's not.
I'm not
No, I'm just-
questioning that. I'm just saying that why is
It's
the
hard
information
to,
not put out so that people are aware? I mean, even the next morning on Facebook, there was tons of posts from people on the Pay It Forward page of why is my water out? What's going on? I mean, I get that it's after hours, but still making these updates to people to me is
Yep.
important.
Yep, and I understand that. The problem we have is if we would have let that continue to run, we would have had bigger issues.
I'm not saying it should have run. I'm just talking about getting the information out. I mean, there's
Yep.
so much technology. I mean, we've got an app now, we've got Facebook, we've got the webpage. I'm just asking that an update be put out so people aren't asking us why it's not, what's going on.
Well, the other thing too is we had a really rough week last week with water main breaks, water issues and everything else that was going on. So a lot of it, we just got done with fixing a problem and then we had another crop up that same night. So, and I actually have that pipe down at the shop if you'd like to see it. It's a common problem we have, this pipe, because it's been
I just
multiple
wanna say-
breaks.
One thing about the app, we would have to designate people, I guess, to be on call. too.
Correct.
Who knows how to do it, just Lisa?
And
Yeah.
Tiff.
I mean, that's what I guess I'm trying to get at, is I know that I know if you call City Hall, it tells you to call dispatch to report a problem. But what I'm asking is, and I don't know if this is the right place that I should have brought it up, I just didn't know where else to bring it up without making it an agenda, I guess, item. But what I'm saying is we should have a better communication policy, and if we need to make it put on the agenda for next time to have someone be on call, like rotating on call for the people at City Hall to put these things out, then I think we do. I'd also personally like to get an email from the city. I mean, I've been in the commission for 2.5 months, and 75 to 85% of what I have learned in this community is on the pay it forward page. Information is not coming to me.
Information you get out of that.
Correct, but a
Correct.
lot of it is accurate, and I'm just saying, I'm very frustrated by that. The communication to me is lacking. Simple as that.
I was even approached by our citizen complaining about what was going on, and at the time, I gotta isolate the incident to
It's not
prevent.
you, Chris.
It's
No,
not you,
no, I
it's to
understand,
me.
but I'm just telling you
It's
what
not
we're dealing
anybody,
with.
I just wonder
Yeah.
who. I
We'll
don't know
just
what it
need to
takes.
designate who's on call that week to take late night calls if something goes wrong.
That's all I'm asking,
That's
is
all we
that
have to do.
something gets put on,
Yeah.
on Facebook, on our app, wherever, wherever Alicia's already posting it, the app, the.
I was on
website.
vacation, 7
I know-
hours away, just to be
No, I
fair.
know you're on vacation. No, I know you're on vacation. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I'm just asking if it's something that can be done. I mean, again, I've gotten multiple phone calls this week from people about different issues. Chris is aware of another one that I got on Friday night after hours about the Beaver Creek project. We talked about it. I've communicated to the person who reached out to me. But what I'm saying is, if this information was on our website, on the app, it would alleviate some of that need for the back and forth between all of us.
Well, and even with the one that you're talking about from Friday night, we still don't have the answer.
Correct. Yeah.
To get them temporary water was my goal that night. We still don't know from the contractor what actually happened. They had water in the morning. And to be honest, they were very accommodating and they helped me get them water through that. And we still are at a loss what's going on, because on all rights in that area, they should have water to their service. But it just became interrupted in the afternoon, and they didn't have water when they came home. We went through all the steps of checking to make sure there was water to the hydrant, taking the meter off, making sure there wasn't anything blocking the meter, actually opening up and taking the meter out and having the shut off, turning the curb stop on. We had no water coming out. We left it open, trying to figure out if somehow, some way, something happened, but when we actually supplied temporary water, it drained back down through the curb stop. So it's been terminated somehow, some way. We didn't do any digging down there at the time, and we didn't manipulate any valves down there either, so that's why, and we haven't even seen a spot where there's been water loss. So we're still at a loss for it, and the company's trying to figure it out. Probably tomorrow morning is what I was told this afternoon. They talked about doing emergency locate this morning to try to figure out what was going on. But it still hasn't been resolved. I mean, obviously they have temporary water off the fire hydrant, and that's not something we want to continue to do, but it's got to get corrected.
And I totally appreciate what you did. I'm just asking for
Yep.
more communication, I guess, is what I'm
What
asking
does
for.
it, Lisa, this is your question. What does it take? And I don't wanna say Jackie can add to it, or do we not wanna do that, or what?
So typically Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, updates are made on the computer. I am the only person at City Hall that has it on their phone to where I can do it weekends after hours. If you want someone else to have that capability, I'm more than happy to help you download the app, walk you through it. If you want to designate it to me, or you want to do a rotating, I'm open to whatever. I'm happy to help get that communication out however I can. I mean, yeah, I guess last week was just a fluke deal. So
I mean, it was late. It was 10:40 when Chris called me, and then I got a citizen call at 11 o'clock. I mean, yeah, Chris was up till 2 o'clock in the morning trying to minimize the people that were out of water. And he did a great job that it was just south of the railroad tracks on West Road. But maybe at 11 o'clock, I could have called you and said, Lisa, put it out that we have a leak on West Road and we're trying to locate it, so.
Yeah.
But do you want to get up at 11,
The other thing.
11 o'clock is late, but yeah, what are we doing from 5 till?
5 to 8. Yep. No, I understand. Yeah.
Just to
And
give you an idea of how much water we lost and how many people it affected. It affected all the way over to Gate City, Adams, Bridge Street. Actually, I heard some in Pleasant that lost water also. So that's the amount of water that we lost in just that.
200 some thousand gallons.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure to just all of a sudden lose. Going back to the excavator, we had a gas line that was exposed, we had a water line that was exposed, and a sewer line. Our biggest fear was we need to get it out of there before it starts moving, before a gas line ruptures. And that's kind of why the timeline kind of got, we needed to get that out of there before it caused a bigger issue, because it could have been a perfect firestorm at what happened.
I understand, I get why you did it.
Sometimes I
but
don't
it's
have the
just-
time to communicate to City Hall on some of this. I have to get the problem solved before it's a bigger problem. So thankfully, nothing was hit when the excavator fell into the hole. Also, the operator's okay. Accidents happen. And this was one that's not normal. This caved in on the one side, and it's hard to see out the back of that excavator, so, I mean, it could have been a whole lot worse, and thankfully, everything worked out. The machine's not damaged to a point where it's not operable, it's operable, so we have a few things that need to be fixed on that's more important than trying to just communicate all this stuff and lose time for getting stuff done, so.
And the only reason I bring up the communication is, like someone said, you have to watch out what you read on Pay It Forward. If it's coming from the city, it's at least coming from the city. People know that it's accurate information. That's why I'm bringing it up. So,
And we can't control what people take pictures of and post on Facebook on their own pages. So,
and you can't, but what I'm saying is, if we at least put it out there, even if that incident we had put out 5 hours later, it still would have been better than not putting it out at all.
Okay, got anything else?
No, that's all.
Mr. York?
I toured Omega on, what a week, Friday? I, just like Chris, had a crazy week following those guys around, and I basically watched them work on, was that Tuesday? I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday last week, I watched them dig that hole next to that gas line, work together as a team. I was pretty impressed with how well they worked, pretty impressed with the skill level and everything. Unfortunate circumstance where we have an accident. Glad that gentleman is okay. I too agree with the communication effort. We need to step it up. We'll fix that. I know we will. But I toured Omega on Friday, and I was completely unaware of, not completely unaware, but decently unaware of what they did out there. And we have basically 60 citizens in the city of Canton that work for a really interesting factory that lines pipelines and gas lines, water lines, sewer lines. And I feel like we could use them as a means of fixing some of our water issues in Canton, where we don't have to dig up the streets and save the city a lot of money in that regard. So I'm gonna work with Chris, I'm gonna work with the engineer, and I'm gonna see what we can do for going forward. And some of our lines can be lined, some of our lines are too far gone. So I just wanted to make it a note that I have been to Omega, and I'm in talks with 3 of the gentlemen and trying to line something up with hopefully our engineer and go from there.
Thank you. Tyler,
We got nothing,
do you have anything you need to say?
we need an exec.
Yeah.
I need to call the commissioner represent something.
I asked him, he said no.
Okay, sorry, I didn't have you written, so I didn't.
Okay, I need to, requesting an executive session under South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2
For legal.
for legal.
So move.
Second.